What's going on, guys? Welcome again to Brailsford Rides, and we're finally digging into our Coyote Swap Cobra, and we got a doozy of a project today. So when we first got the car was running good, and it needed an exhaust, which you can see here in the last video. We picked that up, we've polished up the tips, we used some Colonel Brassy, but on top of that we had a couple other tips come in. We had a couple other tips come in to get the real road grime off the top, and you guys really helped me out here. So we were already using a steel wool pad, but someone suggested use some WD-40, and man, you guys nailed it. It took it right off. So I really appreciate all the suggestions, and we got these things all cleaned up, ready to go. I actually had to take the X-pipe off the car. So right now we got just open headers, which we might start this thing just so you guys can see what it sounds like. But we got some pretty cool stuff coming for this. I can't wait to show you guys what's coming. But right now, let's talk about what we're doing. So what we got going on here is the previous owner hooked up his PCM, and as you can see, hopefully you can see it, he stowed it underneath the fender well, and that's fine. That's pretty normal. And he's run the cables all over the place. There's some that go inside the fender well, and there's some that go underneath the fender well. There's some that go through the fender well, and the problem is the ones that are going through the fender well here, because these are going to the transmission and our O2 sensors. And so the way he had these routed, he had them running through and under our long tube headers. And he did heat wrap them to try and protect them, but he just wasn't familiar with the routing for the New Edge cars or the S197s. So he just did the best he could. So no harm, no fault of his own. He didn't know. So what we've done is we've already unhooked it from the transmission. And boys, let me tell you, that was a pain in the butt. That transmission, my hands are really big, and there's like some really fine clearances. I had to get some of those through, and since he wrapped it with like heat wrap, it really didn't want to come out. But we got it done. It's ready to feed back through. The last piece I have to do is we have a part of the cable that's running under the fender and part running through. So what we got to do is we got to come in here, and we're gonna have to unhook. There's a fuse in here that's running to our main power supply right here. So we got to undo this fuse, and if you guys can see it, and then we'll pull this cable down underneath. We'll also undo this ground, and then we'll pull it all up. We'll feed it back through the fender well here, or maybe we'll just disconnect it and start from fresh. So we'll pull it out under. We'll start inside the fender well, and we'll route it through here. And then the pieces that have to go to the O2 sensor, we want to protrude it through the fender here, go behind the engine, connect to our O2 sensors in the transmission, and that should be good. And then I should be able to, while we're going through the fender, I should be able to go underneath to go through the K-member to our starter, minimizing proximity to the headers. We really don't want to expose the wiring to that much heat, and that should clean it up a lot. It should get rid of this really messy jargon of cables here, and that'll clean that up a lot. So I think we're in good spot, guys. This is a lot better. Sorry, guys. Should have done this from the beginning. So now you can see our PCM. You can see the harness that's going under there. That's the main power line. It's connected to a fuse. We're going to undo that, feed it back through. We'll unclip the transmission harness, whatever plug that is up here. We'll feed that through and bring it back under. And we'll reroute this thing inside this fender well on top of the wiring we've already done there. And then we'll feed it through the inner fender over there to our O2 sensors and to the transmission. And then there's a starter right there. As you can see, we could really minimize exposure to the headers. That's the right way to do it. As you guys can also tell, this car has some brand new rotors, brand new calipers, and these are some coilovers, are like a unknown brand to me, but this thing definitely needs an alignment. These coilovers are actually touching my tire, so we're gonna have to adjust these. I don't even think I have the wrench to mess with these things a little bit. Oh shoot, it seems loose. I think we gotta, yeah, we're gonna have to fix that, tighten that down. But we're gonna have to adjust these things. We might end up swapping these out. We did have a company reach out to us. I forgot what company it was. They were trying to sell us fuel line, but I got some pretty nice fuel line here. So I might see if they will let me borrow or have a set of their coilovers. Again, it's another brand that I've never heard of. No one's really heard of. It's another kind of not as popular brand, but you know what? Like, I'm willing to try something else out, especially if these got some wear and tear on them. I don't know how many miles are put on them. They look pretty clean, but you never know. So what we're going to do today, guys, is I'm going to get the rest of this wire out. We're going to unhook this, pull out the rest of the harness for the transmission, unbuckle it from the PCM, rerun it up here, buckle it in, run it up top, And just like we talked about, get this thing all set up, and then it should be good to go. And we can get the, after that, what we got to do is we got to get back, run down the length of the car, check the fuel lines, make sure it's not anywhere where it can get pinched. They use the Corvette filter. We need to make sure that's secured. I don't think it is. And then we can re-hook up our exhaust. We put the X-Spike back on, hook up that exhaust. And I don't think we'll do it all in this video today, but we're for sure going to get this thing running again by the end of today. So let's get going. All right, guys. So it's been a few days. Here's a quick update. We were able to reroute the cables. As you can see, they're not necessarily running under the headers down there. You probably can't see very well. But we do need to do a better job of tightening them up along the frame rail. They run down the frame rail. The ground comes over the block, and then there's a starter power line that comes up to the starter, but the rest of it goes up the frame rail, inside of the fender, inside that little fender hole we talked about. As you can see, the wire right there running behind the engine into the O2 sensor. So that's exactly what I wanted to do. We still have a little bit of electrics to clean up. One of the issues we were having, though, is that this wheel was hitting the coilovers that are on here. I need to figure out what brand these are. If we see it here, no, I don't see what brand these are. I'm gonna have to look at the brand, get under the car again, look at the brand, so I can figure out about these, because this wheel was actually touching the collar on the tire, whereas the other wheel wasn't. I did get some 3mm spacers. Got some spacers, threw them on, and create a little bit of gap, just enough, just safe spacer that I could still get enough turns on the lug nuts on. But we gave it a little bit of a gap. It actually kind of, it looks a little bit better. It lines up with the fender well here, so that's good. And then the rear one lines up with that rear fender, so that's good, because that was already spaced. This wasn't. But that's where we stand now. Nothing like open header Coyote Swap Cobra to say good morning, neighbors. One of the next videos you guys will see is we got a harness from Nathan Hensley, and sorry, try it again. We got a harness from Nathan Hensley on Facebook. He's known as the he's the Coyote Swap wire guy that everybody uses. So we've been talking to him for a while, been chatting back and forth, and he sent us a brand new manufactured harness. I didn't even have to send in my old harness. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out where all these go, and we're gonna hook this up. But that'll be the next video. Right now, we're just going to take the boss out for a quick ride with the boys. It's been a minute since we've taken that car out for a tear. You think we should go for a ride?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. All right, guys, we're going to go have some fun. Been so busy, this car has not gotten the love it deserves, so we're going to take this out for some fun. This thing just sounds awesome. Probably need some air in the tires, honestly. I'm sure I'm going to get a warning light. This thing just sounds phenomenal. interesting though is to do the exhaust battle between this and our Coyote Swap Cobra when we get this cat back on. Got these Mac mufflers that everybody says sound amazing. We polished up the tips pretty good, guys, considering what it was. If you saw that other video, if you haven't, go check it out. But we're gonna get this thing out of the car soon. Work on that harness maybe tonight if I can. And every day, a little bit closer. But that's all I got for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please click that like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe for more Coyote Swap Cobra, Boss 302 content. We got a lot of stuff ahead. You guys aren't gonna wanna miss it. Let me know what you guys wanna know about this car, and we'll make it happen. There's lots of videos to make, guys. Let me know what you wanna make about this car, what you wanna know about this car, and we'll pull it out and we'll talk all about it. All right, guys, apparently I forgot to film the outro for this video, but that's gonna do it for today's episode. Again, like I said, like, comment, subscribe for more. But everybody stay blessed, stay safe. We'll see you next time on Brailsford Rides. Coming up very soon. We'll get this exhaust slapped on this thing. But until then, take care.